All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Greg J.
Here.
Gary Bennington.
Here.
Rick Deerwester.
Here.
Cindy Holland. Larry Fiddler.
Here.
I believe in her stead she has appointed or deputized Sam Hinman to answer some questions for the council. I was, I think, under the impression that Ms. Galloway was going to be attending, but that sounds like she has deputized Ms. Hinman. So, Sam, if you want to come on up.
Oh, and if everyone can turn their mic on.
That's not I'll get Sandy's.
Turn the sheet on.
There we go. Might help a little.
Okay, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Gentlemen, I just have a few things that I'd like to request be added that have come up over the last day. I'd like to add on number 8, or as number 8, the risk insurance.
Is that on 6 as well, or is there something different?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is on 6. I apologize. Yes, you're correct. On number 8, if we could have the contract approval, we'll just put contract approval for now.
Okay.
And that's on the train depot, and I'll tell you more about that here shortly. And then let's see.
9.
Greg, did you have something that you were
I wanted to add reopening of the office and also the removal of the cat.
Opening office. Gary, did you have something?
No.
Okay.
I do. When I presented the vehicle for the sheriff, or for the marshal, I was too low on money. I did go ahead and sign the papers with Kent, and just need to do that, get approval.
Adjustment on the
Cost of the vehicle.
cost of the vehicle. Okay.
Yes, I do have something I'd like to, if it was, it's on here, okay, never mind.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I have motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Greg J.
Aye.
Gary Bennington, Rick
Aye.
Deerwester, Larry Fiddler.
Aye. Okay, Keystone and ADP payroll processing.
Okay, so the last meeting, I know that Cheryl mentioned switching from ADP to Keystone, and I know that there was a little bit of like a what was paid and what wasn't, and who paid what when. So it is from last year, the total paid to ADP was $12,341.61. And that was for the entire year. The payments are made in, Daniel, I don't know if you got where the bank thing from it, but it's paid, I can slide it over. It's from what the bank sends us, every time that a payroll goes out, we pay ADP based on, I'm assuming based on what, the payroll was. So on, January 6th of this year, it was $82. On January 23rd of this year, it was $76.05. So every time a payroll comes out, we pay them. It is not a pay ahead, situation. And again, that amount from last year for 2019 came to $12,341.61.
I have a question on that.
Okay.
January, February were 82 and 76. Seems like going up to $12,000 when we're paying $100 a
No,
month.
that was ADP for last year. Like if you add up all of the 82 and the 76.
Right, but okay, so, but you paid $82 in January, 76 in February?
No, there were, the 82 and the 7605 were both in January.
Okay, so
So it's
even,
every other week. Every time payroll goes out.
but even so, we're looking at $150 a month? And we came up with a $12,000 payout to ADP?
I mean, that's just what I was given. I don't have.
I understand the numbers you're quoting me. January was 82 and 76. The total of that is what? Basic math.
150, and if you go 26 weeks on that, that's $3,900.
So where did we come up with $12,341.11 in ADP fees?
Not sure.
Okay.
When I first seen that figure, I thought it was high too. I was gonna ask the same question you did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we have what, 15 employees on payroll? 18, somewhere in that
Somewhere in
neighborhood.
there, yeah.
So to pay $12,000 a year for 15 employees in payroll seems to be an absolutely unbelievable amount of money for payroll.
You can do a QuickBook or something like that, a lot cheaper.
Well, and that's what was switched to, cause ADP for just the startup was, $4,487.
I think, my
plus the-
personal opinion at this point in time, with these numbers not making any sense, we can't change payrolls till we have numbers.
I'm pretty sure she already did. So, that's that part, and then as far as Keystone goes, the first year for Keystone, and then it gets cheaper with the training included, was $3,950, that's for the entire year. So let's.
And we don't pay a fee each month for each payroll?
No, it is one lump sum, and that's for the licensing and maintenance
I
and.
totally disagree with the fact of changing payroll without having real numbers. And I don't believe that we paid $12,000 in ADP fees for 1 year.
Those figures there was more like 1,200.
That's, yeah.
Anyway, and then it's after the first year, because the training will be done and the maintenance and then putting everything in. After that, it's only $1,440 for each year after that.
But we still don't know what the total will be for the whole training process.
We know nothing at this point.
No, the training, like, that's included in the $3,950, it's all included.
You say she's already twisted on?
Yeah, she
Well,
signed,
And nobody authorized that. She just made that decision on her own.
I mean, just from what I saw from the last meeting, and I rewatched it before I came just to kind of
There
refamiliarize
was
myself.
never a vote taken on.
No,
to
there
do it.
wasn't. It was just if there was a savings, I believe was the word.
But there was no vote to make that change. It was a conversation.
So, but she got the quote, looks like signed on 4/24,
And
and
I
then it
wanna-
was actually signed
She
on.
had pre-signed it before she brought it to us.
Well, that was the quote. The quote was on 4/24. And then the actual signature for the software and for the maintenance are both from May 1st.
May I see that?
Yeah. I'm saying you're more than welcome to any of this.
I have a question, just for clarification from the documents, and you may not know this. A document that I was sent was, and I think you probably were all sent, was it said like, in December of 2019,
I
the
have it.
ADP was paid like $12,000. Was that payment in advance of the 2020 year for that service?
Well,
Or-
that was
I'm-
2019.
I'm not sure, the way it was, and it was a very quick info,
Well,
I was told that that was like the 2019 amount.
the ADP,
So
that she sent us was dated, 12/19 of 2011. So it's a quite outdated document. And we don't have any numbers to show what we actually paid ADP, other than an email that she wrote.
I mean, you're more than welcome to look at this, the date's a little, it's post date from 12/1/2019 through 12/31/2019, but
That's
I'm
what she
on-
sent us, and that's just I don't know where that came from. There's really no letterhead on it or anything, it's just a generated, I don't even know what it is.
Larry, can I see that agreement that you
Here's,
were looking at? I've seen that. I haven't seen what.
this has got no letterhead or nothing, it's just got an amount on it. And it's dated 12/1/19 through 12/31/19 for $12,341.61.
You got one of these, didn't you?
No, not in my,
It looks like she signed this on the first.
from what she, and again, this was
I don't have a packet.
you want Cindy's, and I think it's she gave me a copy of, I'm assuming maybe the emails that she gave you guys, and there was a note that's underlined, and I put my own, whatever, like, I wrote down what she said so I would remember, and it said, and this was from Cheryl to Daniel and Graham Young. And it said ADP charges per month when payroll is submitted, so we do not pay in advance and will not be out any money. Keystone charges a one-time setup fee of $3,950 and an annual fee of $1,440. Council agreed that if there was a cost savings to go ahead with my appointment of May 4th to set up key payroll into the software, and there was significant savings. And then there was a YouTube stamp of,
Well,
like where council agreed, which
council
granted, there
did not
wasn't a
agree, it
vote,
was not voted on.
but the timestamp was at 38 minutes and 55 seconds and 41 minutes and 47 seconds.
Was
Yeah.
never voted on.
So I do remember that email you're referring to, and I told Mrs. Galloway that the council had not approved anything because she hadn't given, and I know this isn't necessarily you, but last week there wasn't ever an actual motion or approval for anything, and at that point, she hadn't even had any real numbers.
We had nothing.
We
We
won't
asked
know
for
what the
numbers,
savings
yeah.
was if there wasn't any.
We don't know if there's a savings or an expense, because, I mean, the numbers you just gave us for $82 and $76, basic math, it's not $12,000 worth of expenses for payroll.
The thing is with this, I will just say on this agreement, it doesn't look like it's been, so Ms. Galloway has signed it, but it doesn't look like this Michael B. Gallagher, whoever this is for Keystone, has signed it, so, I don't know, maybe she hasn't sent this in for approval yet since
Down there where
the
she
council
signed,
hasn't really authorized the release of those funds for the service.
where she signed it says, we intend to purchase, the terms checked here.
Right. Guys, I don't, just in my capacity, I don't know from a financial sense, if this is gonna be beneficial or not for the town. I think that there's still a lot of questions that need answered. I really wish Ms. Galloway would have,
Well, I think it needs to be put on hold till we have answers to the questions.
we have our council meeting, scheduled for next week, so maybe that would be something that we could get on the agenda and she could provide some additional, information.
No, I can't see $4,000 for less than 20 employees for payroll.
I can't see $12,000 for 50, less than 20 employees. So I don't know where that number came from.
And was it paid in advance for the whole year? So should we get some money back?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
We have a lot of unanswered questions.
I'm just, and that's not,
No,
obviously, that's not
Right.
your fault.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just here in his head, so.
just the messenger.
What I'll do is I'll reach out to Ms. Galloway to see if potentially she can answer some of those questions and, you know, hopefully she'll be here next week. Maybe she can, answer some of those questions for the community and the council at that time. So, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. And then one quick thing on the payroll processes, you should have gotten like the updated, packets to fill out for payroll, just to updating some. She had gone through and there were some addresses that were a little off, just for an updating, just to do across the board. That way everybody is up to date.
I don't, at this point, I think we need to probably, as a council, hold off on that.
I think it needs to be stopped until we have answers.
I just,
No, I mean like in general, like I think that those are the standard, they're not like Keystone specific.
right.
Yeah. It's
Mine
just-
hasn't changed in 8 years,
Well, I'm just,
so.
Well, and that's kind of my concern with what's going on right now in the community. The council hasn't had any issues up to this point receiving any information. No one's indicated a change of address or new personal information, so I don't understand why she would need that information again. She should have it, so.
The email I got, she said she needed the information by tomorrow.
Okay.
That's another instance where they bring it up to the last minute.
So, and that, again, that's not you saying, so I'll reach out to Ms. Galloway and let her know that. I think she sent me an email today at some point, so I'll let her know. You know, I'm not exactly sure why this is an issue at this point, so. Okay, well, I know we've got some questions here from the community, but we'll folks, we'll answer those or get those answered here in just a moment. Oh, and folks, guys, it sounds like they're having some difficulties hearing you, so just try to speak as loudly and clearly as possible. I know it's difficult right now because we're all 6 feet apart, so.
Okay.
Okay, insurance quote for builder's risk insurance.
Okay, I just wanted to fill you in on this. You know, the agreement was with Bill Mankin to work on the train depot. Part of that agreement is the council, or the town, I'm sorry, would need to carry some kind of builder's risk insurance, just as a short-term policy, in case there was any kind of issue during the rehabilitation of that train depot. I reached out to the town's insurance agent, and he indicated that they could put an additional rider on that policy for $250. So it would cover the town just up until the train depot's construction is done and over with. So I would just be requesting that the council go ahead and approve that.
And that's 250 total, not
For the whole
250 a
job.
month.
Yeah, just 250 total.
I would motion we
Yeah.
pay that and get it covered.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Greg
Aye.
J, Gary Bennington,
Aye.
Rick Earwester, Rick
Aye.
Edler. Thank you.
Just to back up to payroll at this point, I'm getting messages as to what company is gonna process payroll this week.
I'm not sure.
Do you know if ADP is still in place?
I'm not sure. I know that there's a payroll training that has not occurred yet with Keystone. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm assuming it's still ADP, but I am not 100%
But
on that.
we don't think we have shut down ADP at this point.
I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Okay. Okay, to kind of follow up on the builder's risk insurance, I do have that agreement for the town and Bill Mankin to begin work on the train depot. I distributed that to each of you guys last week. Did you have any questions, concerns from that agreement? A lot of it's just standard boilerplate language. Bill is ready to get going on rehabbing that train depot, and so if you guys believe the agreement looks okay, you don't have any questions, I would just ask for a motion and approval for to have one person designated as a signee on this agreement. And I would assume probably, well, Larry's probably the best person for that since he's president of the council at this point. So I would just request a motion and approval for Larry to be the person that signs this agreement on behalf of the town, so that Mr. Mankin can begin work on the train depot.
I'll make the motion, Larry signs the contract for the train depot.
I'll second.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And you're gonna get the risk insurance put together
yes, yeah,
immediately, so you can
Who's
start
the,
it.
yeah.
who's the insurance?
It's through HBG. It's Andrew O'Hara. He's our representative that we work with from HBG.
Here in town?
He's in Greencastle.
Oh,
Yep. He's the one who's he's been extremely helpful through all this. So
They are actually our total insurance company?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe they handle all the insurance for the town.
Okay, and contract is taken care of?
Is there a start date for that work?
Not yet. I would imagine probably Monday of next week. I know Bill had indicated that his team was ready to get going, so I'm sure as soon as we get this agreement sent to him and that confirmation that that insurance in place is in place, then I'm sure he'll be ready to get going. So, thanks.
Okay, number 9, office open and the cat.
As we're coming out of this coronavirus and getting back to normal business, it's been a common disapproval that the office has been closed on Wednesdays. And to serve the public and take care of, business as usual, we should be treating the office like a business, being open normal business hours. So I'm recommending we open the office 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And I would like to see a half a day on Saturday for those people that do work during the week that can still make contact with the office.
On normal Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're only open till 4:30. Did
Okay.
you want Wednesday to be 4:30 or 5? And then if so, do you want Monday, the other days of the week to be till 5 as well?
8 to 5 is
8 to
9
5
hours.
is normal business
So
hours.
8 to 5 Monday through Friday?
And then 4 hours on Saturday, and that, what would be best for the public, Sam, in your opinion, the 8 to 12 or the 9 to 1?
The employees in the office, and they paid on a 32-hour or 40-hour week.
It's bi-hourly, but it's a 32-hour week. I mean, it's, 32 hours. We take an hour lunch that's not paid.
It's actually only 7 hours a day then. They're not like 30 to 4:30.
7 hours a day, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Well, lunch hours could be staggered so that the office is
It
open.
would still
Well,
be covered.
Kelly doesn't work during the summer, she's only kind of a fill-in, so it's just one person.
Okay,
I only
Okay.
work as fill-in when something comes up.
okay.
And then, again, going back to treating the office like a business, I think we need to have the cat that's living here removed.
Before we go to the cat, just for my own clarification, Saturday, okay, so if it's 8 to 5, and then Saturday, will there be an overtime? Like, will it be more than 40 hours?
We're gonna have to probably hire some personnel
Okay.
to cover it. So I would say no, there wouldn't be any overtime because we could alternate with people.
And folks, just I'm getting some comments from the community. If you could just speak closer to your microphone so they can hear you. Fortunately, this building is not the most acoustic environment here, so.
Okay, do we need a motion on hours?
Yes, I believe we would.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, open 5 days a week, and then Saturday, 4 hours, 8 to 5.
What time would you like to see Saturday? Sam, what would work better, the 9 to 12, or is the 8 to 12, 9 to 1?
Either way, on a Saturday, I would wanna say that most people probably sleep in.
So do the 9 to 1.
9 to 1.
I would say probably 9 to 1. I'm not real sure like what hours the bank is open, or the bank is open.
The bank is open from 9 to noon.
Yeah.
Then we have to have the deposit done before, we have to have time to run it over. So maybe
That could be put in the Dropbox
That
too,
works.
couldn't it?
we've never used a Dropbox before, but we can look into it.
But even so, we were never open Saturdays, so people did their drop boxes on Saturday, that deposit didn't get made until.
No, but it's in the box secure, but once it's brought in.
But what I'm saying, that bank drop, that could be done anytime up until noon. It doesn't have to include the walk-ins that come in, from 12 to 1.
Okay, I see what
But
you're
if you only
saying.
have one person here, they shouldn't leave during that period of time. But if we get a bag from the bank,
We can do night drop.
9
we
to
can do
5.
night drop.
So, again, I'll make the
I,
motion.
before you do, I just
Yes.
have some clarification questions. When would you guys want this to begin?
I think when the coronavirus is opened and we're back to normal business,
Let's go the month after it's open. Let's go 1 month after it's opened up.
That would also give time to get another person in here and
Okay.
trained, and if so, is that something that the town council will find someone to replace? Or is that something that, who do you want to find to replace, an additional staff to cover for them? Or do you just,
who's currently managing the office as far as,
Cheryl.
then it would fall on
Okay.
the clerk.
So the governor's, if you look at his plan in terms of opening up the state again, the goal was that we would be fully open by July
July
4th.
4th.
Do you want to aim for July 4th to have this? Do you want to kind of keep this on the back burner, maybe get Ms. Galloway, speak with her at least in regards to what her employees are currently working and
Well, I would say let's set a goal for July 4th, if we can expedite that, because there's gonna be some training issues and things like that.
She's gonna fight you tooth and nail. Cheryl's gonna fight you tooth and nail, cause she's so up and down, as long as she's clerk, she'll never be open. on
We've
Wednesday.
been a 4-day work week for quite a while, and it's not been a service to our public. And there has been numerous complaints of it being a 4-day work week and nobody being able to do business on Wednesdays.
that being said, the ordinance that goes over all of that may need looked at, just as far as the disconnects, because there's a certain way that it's written in there that we only do disconnects on certain days of the week, that way that they have, so if that wording could be looked at and modified, that way the Wednesday is also.
Well, has Wednesday not been a normal work day for the town employees, other than the office people?
I'm not sure, I've never been here to see.
I mean, that would be the question, is if the town employees, meaning water and sewer, have been working Wednesdays, it's not really gonna change anything the field people are doing, it's only gonna affect office personnel.
Yeah.
Right?
someone made a suggestion that the town could rotate Saturdays between employees, such as every other Saturday, giving 1 day off through the week.
Or a half a day, yeah.
That might be an option.
I'm sure we can get it covered, it's just a matter of getting that.
Yeah, so I would say let's use July 4th as our goal,
Yeah, and then.
to have it implemented, and if we can implement it sooner with hiring people and getting it staffed, and once the governor releases us for full service, we're ready to go.
Okay, and then, just to clarify again, that would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 to 4,
5.
8 to 5.
or 8 to 5. And then Saturdays, 9 to 2,
9 to 1.
9 to 1, yeah.
9 to 1.
Staggered lunch hours. So it can be open for,
So, if you have two people working 5 days, there'll be one day that there's only one person.
For 4 hours. Yeah.
And then is that, I mean, on a day where there's one person that's not Saturday, do you just want them to close for lunch?
If there's only one person here, but
Our goal is to have more than one person. And we could stagger days, rotate the Saturdays.
Hiring one more person.
Right, but what I'm saying though is if two people work 5 days a week, unless you're saying to have one on the one person work
How many
five-
current deputy clerks are there now?
There's Susie who works full-time, Kelly who works part-time, she does more, she really only comes in to do the liens and which Susie's working on training now, and then I'm just a fill-in with school, and it's more of if somebody needs a sick day.
Cause it seems like I've seen more personnel in the
Yeah,
office.
So you've got Trina who's
Yeah, I was gonna say
full-time.
Trina.
Well, Trina, she was full-time, I don't know if she's working full-time
She's
now.
not, like with her giving up payroll, I think Cheryl said she worked 2 hours or so last week.
But see, now with the office, we've got people available to put into those slots. We could give them more hours.
If they'll take them. Cause Trina's got another job, she works at the Duck.
How many hours she works a week now?
Post payroll, Cheryl said she only put in like 2 hours last week.
How many hours a week was she working
I have
a
no
month
idea.
ago or 6 weeks ago?
However long payroll took with that, and I don't know.
Well, I think we go with July 4th as our go date.
Okay. With that is the day that the state opens.
Yeah.
That's at this point.
Okay.
Actually, July
Subject-
4th
subject
is
to
a
change.
Saturday.
Yeah, actually,
So it'll be the 6th.
It'd be the
You know,
Yeah, it'd be the
Monday.
following.
Yeah.
But that's the goal, and obviously, that's subject to change depending on what happens.
Sure.
Okay, and then with that being said, is that when the late fees start, or is that 30 days after?
that I'm gonna need to check.
Okay,
Right.
I wasn't sure
I
if
think
that's.
we had set it up that we were
It
gonna
was
go
30
30 days after
That's right.
it was lifted, so we're gonna
Okay.
go
Well, I wasn't sure.
August
when
4th
it
would be
lifted.
the,
Like, I wasn't sure if it lifted phase 1, phase 2, phase
I
3
think
at
full
the very
phase,
end.
I think when we get
Okay.
back to normal, so I think we didn't really expect to phase it, we expected it to be open and closed, and now it's phasing, so when we're fully open, July 4th, 30 days after that.
Okay,
That was kind of my interpretation, but I'd like to look and see specifically what the governor's order says and see if that would have any bearing.
okay,
We can definitely cross that bridge when we get there.
okay, perfect. Yeah, if you could just keep us informed and,
So Greg, you said July 6th, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want me to restate the motion? Or?
Yeah, and then you said something about the cat as well.
Yeah, we also have, again, getting back to treating the office, the town building as a business. I don't think having livestock in here is a professional thing to have, so I think we need to remove the cat.
Okay, so if you guys wanna include all that as part of your motion, Rick, do you wanna?
Yeah, again, I'll make a motion that we open up, business from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 1. And, we can work out the details on staggering, lunches and, rotating on a Saturday, those type of things. And, the removal of the cat.
And that was to begin on ideally July 6th?
For the opening of the hours, July 6th, starting then, and the cat, like, immediately.
would it be possible to do just for clarification, to do the hours on one motion and
Yeah.
Skeeter the cat on a separate one, just so it's a little clearer for,
Yeah, that might be better.
All right, so go back to my motion. I'll remove the
You're
cat.
okay, you're okay, there's a lot in it, so you wanna
You're right,
make
that's
sure
all
you
right,
got it.
yeah.
You're
Monday
fine.
through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 1.
Beginning July 6th.
And beginning July 6th, hopefully if we get things going sooner, that's, we will go with that as well.
Starting it by July 6th.
Yes, by July 6th.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Gary
Aye.
Dennington,
Aye.
Peter Wester,
Aye.
Larry Fiddler.
Okay, do we have a motion on the CAT?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, remove the cat from the business immediately.
Define immediately.
Well,
First of all, whose cat is it?
Yeah.
Do we even know?
Can we maybe just turn that? I think it's picking up your cell phone.
That's weird. Nope.
That's weird.
I don't think it's my mic, 'cause my mic's off.
Might be your volume on the, just scary.
Oh, it's Gary.
Yeah, I just turned mine
There you go,
off.
Gary. Okay, sorry, Sam. What did you-
No, it's okay, and then Rick, is yours back on then?
Yeah, it's back on.
I know that Skeeter was found as an itty bitty kitten and nursed to health, and I'm not entirely sure how she got here, but she's been here ever since.
And today being Wednesday, by Friday, have the cat removed. Since it is a public meeting, if anybody out there is looking for a cat, please contact the office.
And Skeeter's a super sweet cat. And up to date on all shots and all of that fun stuff.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Gary, did you have a second?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
And that was Friday.
yes,
Yes.
COB.
Okay.
Okay, last meeting, I asked for approval of a new police car for $51,000. When I came and met with Kent, the price of the vehicle was actually $55,440.83. We agreed to go to 5 years, annual payments. Annual payments went up a little bit. They would be $11,771.97 with a 2-year or 2% fixed rate. First payment due May 20th, 21 with a $1 buyout.
Can you repeat that? There's a 2% fixed rate and then,
A $1 buyout at the end of the lease through First National Bank. And do I have a motion to go ahead and accept that?
I'll motion.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I abstain for conflict. And I do have one more thing that I forgot. I met with a gentleman today, that would be a temporary building inspector for us. He would probably work 1 day a week in Cloverdale, schedule all of his meetings there or here on 1 day a week. And seemed like a nice gentleman. He is a home and commercial inspector. Basically what he does right now is inspect homes when someone is purchasing one. He has worked as a contractor for businesses who are building new businesses to oversee their investment while it's being built. I've given Daniel a card. I'm assuming we'll probably want to do a contract with him, and that's why I gave Daniel a card so that he could contact him by email with a contract if so the board wishes to do.
And Larry, just to clarify, would this just be in the interim until county would potentially take over?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And the gentleman was willing to work until June 1st, June 30th, whatever was needed until the county takes over.
Do you have
And
a name?
I'm not sure what his name is. I've got his email. It's katz-chance@yahoo.com. I do know his first name is Chance.
Might be Chance Cat.
Is he currently bonded?
Yes, he is bonded and insured, and we should not have to have insurance separate for him.
In
He
terms
would be working as a contractor for us.
of reimbursement or pay, how would the council want to potentially handle?
I suggested to him today that he would do it for permit fees. He seemed open to that, other than I didn't have any permit fees to give him cost. But, pending that.
If the council wants to make a motion on that, I can at least begin the process of reaching out to this gentleman and get you more information maybe for next week, and then, maybe we could work something out with him to.
But he's just working for the permit cost. I mean, he would get. the
So it's
fee.
not gonna cost
It's
us
not gonna be
anything,
that
but we're not
much.
gonna make anything.
Correct.
Right.
So
And
I
that's-
would motion we go
yeah.
ahead and let Daniel work with him and let's get some numbers put together.
And it is temporary.
And it is
Yes.
a temporary position.
And I'm sure that, you know, if it runs longer than that, he would be happy to fill in.
Continue, sure.
Correct. I will second that.
Who made the motion?
Correct.
Gregory.
All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
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 I had, I'm getting questions, and this is kind of going back to the building inspector, but people are asking me if Wayne was ever bonded.
I believe that we had it to where the entire building had like a certain number bond where it wasn't individual people, it was like a,
Blanket bomb?
So
yeah.
he wasn't individually bonded, he was just working under a general bond for the town.
Is that question referring to when he was doing payroll before he was an employee?
This was more, yes,
I was gonna say, that's what someone asked on the Facebook stream as well.
Yeah,
Was he insured or bonded when he was doing payroll?
back in 2012.
I have no idea about
Well, I'm not sure. I think we
Well,
have to
I
ask
think he started
Ms.
with
Galloway.
14. I don't think he started doing the payroll 14, did he?
Well, Cheryl said he was
he
doing it
worked
in
as an unemployed
2012.
and unpaid employee
Right.
from 2012 until he became a paid
He
employee.
went to the training, one moment. Cause it was signed by Kathy Tipton, 12/19/2011. And then Wayne went to the classes beginning in January of 2012. And then into February of 2012 for the ADP payroll classes.
And when did he officially become an employee of Cloverdale?
I don't know.
I think that was like maybe November or December of 2014. So that was 2 years after.
Is that what you thought he came on in 2014?
As town manager?
Yeah,
I think it was later than that.
but some questions need to be asked, I think.
Yeah, I think probably we'd have to maybe get some more clarification on that from Ms. Galloway.
Because like I said, we are getting questions to see if he was bonded back in 2011.
So,
No, he wasn't working 2011.
He was working, but not with pay.
Who hurt him?
it sounded like Cheryl deputized him to.
Cheryl didn't take office till January of 12.
I'm not sure.
I'm positive, because that's when I took office.
I mean, that was January of 2012, the end was when he went to those classes.
So apparently she deputized him immediately after she
And he'd
started.
been, and he'd been
Yeah, it
doing
was,
payroll.
and I don't know when the start, it was 1/31, and then the week of 2/6, week of 2/13, week of 2/13, week of 2/20. And that was just the breakdown of, like, complete online analysis, pull and import master file, complete payroll training, but they were all January 31st, 2012 and after.
Wonder when his certificate was dated.
Answers that have yet to be answered, or questions that have yet to be answered.
Yeah.
I mean, that was from, ben.west@adp.com, Kathleen Monaco, and you're more than welcome to,
We have those, I think.
okay.
That was part of the email.
Okay, any other conversation before I start getting to the public's comments?
I'm good.
Anything, gentlemen?
We're good.
Okay, first question was the one that was just asked, was Wayne Galloway insured or bonded when he was doing payroll? Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the council really has a lot of information on that. Looks like, there's some confusion over the numbers cited by, I think, Sam on the ADP versus Keystone. And I don't know, we may just have to get Ms. Galloway to answer some of those questions, cause I don't think Sam probably is privy to a lot of that, so.
No.
Clerk cannot sign contracts, the president signs, that's from, Terry Puffer. Question about Sam handling Ms. Galloway's stuff this evening. Someone suggested that you could send payroll to a local accountant and pay a third of that if the clerk treasurer is not capable of doing payroll for less than 20 employees. Clerk serves at the pleasure of the board. There's a question here, it says, shouldn't the builder be bonded and insured? I don't know, Larry, if you want to respond to that,
The building inspector that we're proposing,
Well, I think, yeah, I think this person was probably more referring to Bill Mankin. He is
Yes.
both of those bonded and insured, so, just as a reply to you, Mr. Anderson. Someone asked why not get an accountant to do payroll. I don't know if that's really ever been a consideration that the council's looked at.
it is an option.
It is an option. James Coy asked what happened to the stop sign for Stardust Road and the north entrance to Stardust Hills. I don't know if anyone wants to address that.
I think it's in process.
Yes, I think I was supposed to talk to Brad about that, and I did forget to.
Okay, so we will talk to Brad and make sure that those stop signs get put out.
And that is going to be a three-way stop.
Yes,
Did we agree on a sign prior to the stop sign too?
Yes,
Beware that there is a stop coming up.
stop ahead.
stop ahead
Yeah.
sign.
Okay.
There was a suggestion about rotating Saturdays between employees, such as every other Saturday, giving one person the day off.
Half day.
There's a question from Brent Schurig. Who's covering and answering the alarms at the wastewater treatment plant now for the auto dialer?
Brad should be doing that. He does carry the emergency phone.
Okay, so Brad is the person who will be handling that.
I think Richard, I think
What?
They
they may
alternate.
take
They might.
turns, but yeah,
I'm sure
It's
Richard will
covered.
get the one for
Yeah.
the water plant.
Yeah.
And Brad would probably get the one for the sewage.
There's a question about the potential building inspector, his name being Chance Katz. That's what we believe his name is.
Mhm. Chance.
Mr. Puffer asked if the clerk can deputize and since when. We'll have to ask Ms. Galloway. Scott Mayhew asks if there are any rules and regulations on blocking the public walk in town. Yes, there are. We have ordinances to that effect. Mr. Mayhew, if you want to stop in the town hall and request to see one of the town's ordinance books, you can review those and kind of see what regulations the town has on blocking sidewalks in the town of Cloverdale. Okay, it says, Robin Hughes asks, in the meeting last week, Ms. Galloway stated due to being audited once a month, that there was a need to change to Keystone because the auditing company doesn't know ADP. The question is, so who has been doing audits for the past years that they have been on ADP? Why did the town change to an auditor, sorry, I'm reading it verbatim, that doesn't know the system, can the town hire an auditor that doesn't, or that does know the system, I'm sorry. I'm not sure about, Ms. Hughes.
I think I asked that question last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure, what Ms. Galloway's desire is for changing to Keystone. I'd have to go back and review the minutes from that meeting to determine if she had talked about an auditing company. I'm not unfortunately sure about that. There's a question here, do we still have to go through the clerk if we have questions for council members? No, that's, kind of why we're actually streaming. We're hopefully gonna, Ms. Cameron, get people involved again as we slowly open up. The council and I have been in conversations about when we'll begin to have public meetings again, and hopefully that will be very soon. So we will be able to get, hopefully the public engaged, in a personal sense, for meetings as in the past.
And if you have questions ahead of time, you don't have to go through like the clerk treasurer, you're more than welcome to call the water, even to leave a message, we check them all the time, and Susie just writes them down and gives them to me like the day of the meeting, like I got my Sam envelope.
Perfect. So if you have questions, call town hall.
Extension 2.
Extension 2, and hopefully we'll be reopening here soon so that the public can begin attending meetings. Bob Anderson asked if the depot contractor is bonded and insured, why does the town have to carry temporary insurance? It's a very good question, and the council probably doesn't, I can respond to that just because I've been working with the agreement. The agreement that the town is signing stipulates that the town has to carry that for like act of God type scenarios, in case something was to go wrong. The contractor also carries a policy, so it's just as a kind of extra layer of protection. That's why the town is gonna be adding on that builder's risk insurance policy. It's a requirement under the agreement. Question is, do you have emails where you can receive community members' questions?
It's, you asking us?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's rickdeerwester@hotmail.com.
What we might be able to do is get something posted, here, this next week, where you guys can have individual accounts, not your own personal accounts, but accounts set up through the town,
Through the town, okay.
that potentially people can reach out to you individually, and those will flood your personal inbox, but will come to a town inbox that you can respond to.
In regards to emails, that kind of reminded me of tech, is there an update on the website?
Well, I actually was in conversations with,
Dana
yes,
Mitchell.
Dana.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, his business has kind of, he's had to take a lot more on because of it. So he is not in a position right now to be handling that. He indicated that he wouldn't be able to do it right now just because of other responsibilities that are kind of, carrying more weight for
So
him.
he didn't give you a date, like he might do it a few months from now, or he just, you don't know?
He said I think he was interested, but right now he just doesn't have the time. So I think it has something to do with just how much business he has,
Right.
and his focus is kind of shifted towards that.
His slow time is December, January.
I'm sorry?
His slow time is December, January.
Right.
I have a question regarding IT. Have we made any progress in our IT system as far as access passwords and?
Not yet. I have some information, but I'm not sure what it is in terms of if it's what the officers need to get access to their computers or not. I will send that information to the town marshal so that he can try to get in. I don't know if it'll work or not, but unfortunately, because of everything else that's going on. Yeah. Any other questions?
I do for Sam. Is the office that busy on phone calls that a person can't answer, but they have to go through the?
It depends on when you call. When bills go out, once people start getting them, the phone blows up off the hook, yes. when the day before, the day of, and the day or two after bills are due, the phone blows up because people are doing
Okay,
last
then.
minute payments, and the same
10th,
thing with the
11th, 12th
disconnect.
of the month, and then the 23rd, 24th, 25th.
And then the disconnects are usually around the 8th, so the 6th, 7th, 8th,
So the middle of the month would be pretty easy then, to get in.
depends on the day, yeah.
Cause that, has always upset me that I hate menus.
Hit 2.
I hate a motivation.
Well, and it's an automated in the beginning, so if you wanna just go straight to the water side, just hit 2, and it'll kick you straight over. If that's the question you were asking.
Yeah, if you're a customer standing in front of someone, it's a little annoying that they answer the phone while you're talking to them too, so.
Yeah, plus there's still the bank
Yeah, I
run and the
understand
post
that.
office run, and, I mean, there are a couple windows, but we check the answering machine a lot. Like, we don't just like, oh, we're having a personal conversation, we're just gonna let it ring, like, we answer it, like, we stop what we're doing.
Any other items, gentlemen?
Is that all the questions? I have none.
Real quick, what was the police vehicle, I know it was adjusted to the $11,771.97, what was it,
The total 55?
I'm sorry,
$55,440.83.
okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else, call this meeting adjourned.